Welcome back, friends. So, obesity has been considered to be one of the bane of many diseases like heart diseases, blood pressure, diabetes, many lifestyle diseases. So, from time to time, you find the doctors insisting that try and lose some weight. And naturally, weight loss has been one of the very popular ways of making money. There have been weight loss institutions which have sprung up all over the world. People join with the hope that they can lose some weight, and that also will help them lose some of their insurance premium, which has been escalating year after year. So we have had not only weight loss clinics, but we have also had many medications from time to time. There are various generations of weight loss drugs which have kept on coming, and once a certain class of medications come, that the prior class starts becoming obsolete. So, for example, we have Ozempic, Wegovy, semaglutide, Rybelsus. These, when they came on the scene, then the earlier class of medications started becoming obsolete. And now we have the latest class of medicines, the tirzepatide, and these are becoming very popular on the scene, in the sense that the US FDA is about to give approval, having passed a clinical 3-stage, and the approval for this Elililly medication is on the anvil, is on the cards, looks imminent to us. If approved, then this could become the best-selling drug of all time. Although there are concerns which are mounting about actually how many people will be able to afford this expensive medication. It's come out of a lot of trials, and things are not so easy as far as the costs are concerned. The drug called tirzepatide will be granted approval by the FDA sometime in some months' time. If that's the case, it would join two other popular and expensive recently approved weight loss drugs, as I mentioned, Wegovy and Saxenda, both from the drug maker Novo Nordisk. The medicine tirzepatide will be from Elililly. Annual sales of tirzepatide are estimated to hit a record $48 billion, according to an estimate from the Bank of America analyst Jeff Meekum. And another Wall Street analyst, Colin Bristow at UBS, estimates that the drug could reach $25 billion in annual sales, a figure that would still surpass the record $20.7 billion set by Abwise rheumatoid arthritis drug Humira in 2021, friends. So, Elililly, when asked to comment, declines to comment as to how much tirzepatide will finally cost. But experts believe it is possible that the drug maker could price it very similar to Wegovy, which carries a list price of around $1,500 for a month's supply, and Saxenda, which costs about $1,350 for a month's supply. Now, if the US FDA confirms the drug's effectiveness, then a fair price for tirzepatide could be around $13,000 US annually, or around about $1,100 a month. This is according to Dr. David Rind, who is the Chief Medical Officer for the Institute for Clinical and Economic Review, a research group that helps determine fair prices for drugs. These drugs have been shown in clinical trials to be highly effective for weight loss, and all the three drugs which are given as injections, so injectable drugs they work in a very similar way. They are a class of drugs called GLP-1 agonists, which mimic a hormone that helps reduce food intake and appetite. Okay. However, Elililly's tirzepatide also imitates a second hormone, which is called GIP, which, along with the reducing appetite, may also improve how the body breaks down sugar and fat. So metabolism improvements also expected. A phase 3 clinical trial found that a high dose of tirzepatide helped patients lose 22.5% of their body weight on an average, or about 52 pounds better than any medication currently on the market. Now, most patients in the trial runs had a body mass index or a BMI of 30 or higher. In trials, Wegovy and Saxenda reduced body weight by around 15% and around 5% respectively. At lower doses, all three of the drugs are already approved to treat diabetes. Tirzepatide is sold under the name Mounjaro for diabetes, and semaglutide, when marketed for the weight loss, is sold at a higher dose and is called Wegovy. At a lower dose, it is marketed for diabetes and is sold as Ozempic. Similarly, a higher dose of the drug of this drug, liraglutide, is sold under the name of Saxenda for weight loss, and at a lower dose, it's sold as Victoza for diabetes. So in short, all these three drugs, and when they are sold at a lower dose, they help for the diabetic conditions, and they are already there in the market. But when used at a higher dosage, out of it, the two of them have been given approval already, and the third is the Elililly's drug. Once that approval is granted for that, then at a higher dose, that will be the third, and it will be the most recent competitor in the weight loss group of drugs. So with the exception of Mounjaro, which was approved earlier this year, the version of these drugs used to treat diabetes are all covered by most insurance. Now, that's not always the case when they are prescribed for obesity. Obesity carries a unique stigma, right? And many physicians still see it as a behavioral problem rather than a medical one. That belief, in addition to older anti-obesity medications not being very effective, made insurers reluctant to cover many of the new therapies. But you had a bias, so as to say. Some insurers selected one of the weight loss drugs and offered coverage, but they often restricted access only to patients who met a certain threshold, such as a BMI which is greater than 30. What's more is that not everyone responded the same way to any given drug. That you have to understand that will happen even with tirzepatide. If the drug covered by insurance isn't effective for that patient, then there are usually no other drug options left. Now, Dr. Holly Lofton, the director of the weight management program at NYU Langone Health, regularly prescribes new drugs to her patients. For many, she says, who are denied coverage by the insurance, the patients say that it appears to them as if insurance companies want to wait until they get so sick that they have more of a necessity for a medication rather than a prevention. So prevention is, as you know, is always better than waiting till the last minute. Now, some of the patients end up spending thousands of dollars out of their own pocket for the medication for a few months as they negotiate with their insurer to get coverage. Patients usually aren't reimbursed by their insurance plan for the money that they've already spent on the drugs. Well, they take that risk when they start the medication. So one finds that according to an equity director of the endocrine division at the Massachusetts General Hospital in Boston, the private insurance coverage for anti-obesity medications is spotty, with treatments often restricted to the most expensive plans only. And Medicare, of course, does not cover them. Anti-obesity drugs are not a mandatory Medicaid benefit either, although some states have opted to include them. So Medicare, no. Medicaid, may or may not, mostly no. Obesity is considered as a chronic illness, and like any other chronic illnesses, most patients are expected to take the medication for their entire lives, which is a great financial burden if they are forced to pay out of their pockets. The only people who are likely to be able to afford a drug like tirzepatide would be on their own, will be the one who are extremely rich. Despite the barriers to access, one can feel that tirzepatide could be a blockbuster drug for obesity, noting that the US is already seeing supply shortages for the drug as a diabetes injection. So it's pretty close how strong the demand is, and one can say that the insurance coverage of these drugs may not improve until more people in the medical field change the way how they view obesity. It's not something that diet, exercise, or sheer willpower can fix. Instead, it's a diet regulation of fat cells in the body. So if you treat it as more of a medical issue rather than a behavioral issue, then I think the whole ballgame will change, and you'll see more insurers coming out to assist In the meanwhile, Elililly will definitely continue to make money, and they'll increase it once the FDA insurance for this anti-obesity drug tirzepatide is granted, and it's going to happen rather soon. So taking all this into consideration, one can definitely hope that this drug will turn out to be quite a blockbuster drug for Elililly, and I'm sure they've put in tremendous effort, and tirzepatide will be a great one of the hottest selling drugs on the market. So it makes sense to buy tirzepatide's maker Elililly's stock and be a beneficiary of the huge amounts of returns that are expected from this blockbuster drug in the years to come. So Elililly, it's good buy even today, friends. And to get to know which are some good stocks in addition to Elililly to buy, please to join our Prime Plus or Prime program. Number to get in touch, 982-086-1044. You can WhatsApp us on this number. Alternatively, you can also email us at globalmoneyinvestor@gmail.com. globalmoneyinvestor@gmail.com. Happy investing. Take care. Bye-bye. And hope you have a blockbuster of a year 2023. Take care. Bye-bye.